In this video, I find a Terraria Summoner mod that you must download for your next Summoner class playthrough. The Amulet of Many Minions mod adds in a bunch of new summons and a bunch of new mechanics to play around with to make Summoner feel even more of a whole complete class. Let's check it out. So we are here with the Amulet of Many Minions mod, probably like one of the #1 mods you need if you're doing a Summoner playthrough, and maybe a whip mod on the side because this mod doesn't add in any of its own custom whips. But yeah, let us hop straight into it here. We're gonna start with, instead of the minion straight up, we're gonna go to the sort of subclass they add in. So think about this, you know, we got the regular Summoner minions, and then we got the sentries, which is a subclass to Summoner, and then this mod adds in the squires, another little subclass. And there's a good bit of weapons here. Let's go ahead, let's start grabbing them and going through them. But yeah, the squires, how they work, as you can see, it says click and hold to guide its attacks. So just like how whips give you something to do as a summoner, these right here also give you something to do as a summoner. A mushroom squire will fight for you. Boom, I hold left click, and as you can see, he's attacking, he's swinging. As long as I'm holding left click and I can control how far he goes. Obviously stronger ones are going to go a bit further with your mouse, and weaker ones, they're not going to have that much range. But yeah, as soon as I let go, he comes back to me. He's still out, so you don't have to like resummon him in and out. And then you just press left click again and he starts attacking. So let us bring in some monsters here. Blue slimes, you know, it's a little mushroom dude. He's not going to do too much damage. He still did pretty good damage here. Let's bring in some zombies then. And you know, decent damage. I believe you can only have one squire at a time, which makes sense because it'd be kind of weird controlling multiple of these guys at once. But on to the next one, we got the Crest of the Frozen North. We got a little Viking squire. My boy's swinging 2 axes. He's ready to get business done. Let's see him in action, chopping everyone up. Nice. On to the next one, Crest of the Sea. I just noticed that there is actually special right click attacks. Right click, special mushroom toss. Let me bring this one back in. Toss the mushroom. Wow, look at that. Let's see it in action. So they even have more attacks with the right click, and I believe you do have to be left clicking to use their right click attack. So we hold left click and then we hit right click, and then they do their little special attack. Cool. This one, the Viking, throws out an axe or something. What does he do? He just has more range. Special icy axe. So maybe he puts a little frost burn debuff on enemies. There's a cooldown. We do gotta wait for the cooldown. Once the cooldown's gone, he does something. All right, next up we got this one here, the Fish Squire, and he's got a little trident on him and he shoots out little bubbles, and then his special attack is a shark form. Interesting. Let's just see him in action. You know, he's got a trident, so his crowd control should be pretty decent. Stack up a bunch of enemies and hit them at the same time. Then let us see the shark form. Oh yeah, so he turns into like something that like Fishron straight up summons. On to the next, we got the Ancient Crest of Cobalt. Let's see this one in action. Oh, okay. Got the little spray on him. Let's go ahead, stack up the enemies, hit them with the spray. And then the right click is Magic Shot Blast. So let me bring in some angry bones here and let's see the Magic Shot Blast. So it looks like just like a stronger beam of projectiles. Next up, we got the pumpkin one. Let's see what it is. Oh, okay. So there's no whips directly in this mod yet, but we got a squire that has a whip, and his right click is Giant Pumpkin. That sounds interesting. Let's just see the regular whip in action here. Probably doesn't buff any minions, but it'd be interesting if it did. And then let's see the Giant Pumpkin in action. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, that's a normal size pumpkin. I don't see anything too giant. Crest of the Sky. Let's see its attack here. I'm assuming arrows. Yes. And our like squires all the way up in the sky. That's really cool. Nice little detail there. Let's bring in some enemies to shoot at from above, and it does good damage. As we see, we're one tapping zombies. Special barrage. This is honestly what I expected for a special attack. Probably just like a hail of arrows. Yes, sir. Next up, we got the Crest of Shadows and the Crest of Crimson. Let's just go ahead and see both of them, what they look like here. Now, here's a question. Do they have different specials? They just throw Flash of Curse Flame and Ichor. Got it. Probably not too much to see, if we're being honest, because, you know, it's Crimson Corruption. Things are usually fairly similar in most situations. All right, we should be entering into late hard mode, or late pre-hard mode and hard mode territory here. We got the Guide Friendship Bracelet. Click and hold to guide its attacks. It's a guide. Hey, the guide has always been there for me when it comes to defending the house most of the time, when they aren't spamming the door open and closed. What is the right click? Flaming arrow volley. So I'm assuming something similar to the Sky Squire that we had, raining arrows on him. We got the Crest of the Underworld. A Demon Squire will fight for us. Okay, this one's got a little range on it. He can go pretty far, and he's just tossing out a bunch of tridents. Let's bring in probably stronger enemies. The Groom, perfect. Let's see him in action though. Okay, so he does penetrate multiple enemies. And the right click is Imp Assistance. Let's bring in demons. And then let's see the Imp Assistance. So my boy gets summons. He gets his own summons. I'm summoning him and he's summoning imps. I honestly don't even know what they did. I'm assuming they probably just shot out little fireballs or something. It was kind of hard to tell. Maybe just like a shield. No, they are shooting fireballs. After that, we got Golden Rogue Crest. This one says teleports to the enemy nearest the cursor and throws a barrage of knives at them. Is that the right click? I'm assuming that's the right click special attack. So he throws a bunch of magic daggers here. Hold on, I need to bring in like a hard mode enemy. Let's bring in some wraiths. Perfect. Killed them all pretty quickly. I believe I am just in a normal world here. Or actually, I'm in journey. Yeah, I'm gonna put up the slider to at least normal. But yeah, bring in a bunch of wraiths, see the damage against them. Still not bad. And then we got the right click. Teleports to the nearest enemy by the cursor. I don't know why I read that backwards. Let's see it in action. Okay. Kind of cool. I like that. That's pretty sick. So if you're like fighting a boss, you put your cursor near the boss, he's gonna home in on that boss the whole time. We got the Adamantite Crest. Let's see it in action here. So we just got a little Adamantite Knight with the glaive or whatever spear that is. Same thing with the titanium one. And then let us see the right click. Okay, so he hops on a little unicorn. It's really fast. That's cool. Let's go ahead. Let's bring in some wraiths here. And then let's see him on the unicorn. Just kind of just dashing back and forth at him. And then let us see here if the titanium one is similar. No, the titanium one gets like a little attack drone. Okay, that's cool to see that that's different. We got Crest of Bones. Let's see what it does here. Okay, so we got to do a little flail, a little mace on him. Go ahead, let's see the mace in action here. It's got a little bit more range of motion. Circular motion. Don't know if it's easier or harder to hit things. And then the right click is just a flaming flail, so I'm assuming it's just more damage. Oh, and a lot faster. Okay, actually really not that bad. I thought it was gonna be like It was pretty good. All right, next up here, Soulbound Bow. Let's see the bow in action. Whoa, it's just a squire that's a bow. Plain and simple, no penetrating. And then let's see the right click. So we get like a little sword to help us out, aka the Soulbound Sword. So let's bring out the Soulbound Sword, which is just a floating sword. And I'm assuming if we right click, the bow helps us out. Yes, sir. So let's see that in action. Look at that. I think the sword is the better one of the two. That's not even being biased or anything. It legit just seems better. After that, we got the one where we combine them both together, the Soulbound Arsenal. So we got both, and they seem a lot stronger. Now, my question is, what does the right click do? Because the previous right clicks, you know, we kind of just put them together. What does the right click do when they're already together? They shoot a damn laser beam. I was not expecting a laser beam, I'll be honest. All right, we got the last set of squires here. Let's go over them. We got a Potted Pal. What does he do? Oh, he's kind of like a little Plantera type of attack here. Stretches its little neck out. Damn, it goes far. That's pretty far. Let's bring in some more wraiths. I might have to get a stronger enemy here. But cool. And then what's the special attack? Pollination. Creates a short-lived Potted Pal Jr. that automatically attacks enemies. So gives birth to Little Junior. Let's see Little Junior in action. Oh, he's doing work. Little Junior is doing work. Too bad he's going to disappear for forever. And then the next one we summon in is going to be Junior Junior. Or I guess that would be like Potted Pal the Third. I don't think you could do Junior Junior. Crest of Eyes. Let's see it in action. Okay, my boy's got a little laser on him. Let's bring in Swamp Things. There you go. That's our next enemy here. Seems appropriate. You know, we got the Eyezor zombie. And we bring in enemies that are where you unlock the Eyezor stuff. What is the right click? Seeing double. So I'm assuming he's going to shoot a lot of lasers. Oh yeah, he gets like 2 more dudes around him. Reminds me of like Binding of Isaac. All right, next up we got Crest of Armored Bones and Armored Bone Squire. Let's see it in action. Okay, So much like the other skeleton squire we had with the flail, but this one kind of leaves around little like soul flames that I'm assuming also do damage. And then we right click spirit of the flail, I believe that said. Let's see the spirit of the flail. Damn, he lets the flail loose. He's not even swinging it anymore. Like literally his animation, he just doesn't have a flail. After that, crest of the stardust, what do we got? We got a little dude here. Wow, we got like us late game as a summoner. And then he's got his own little stardust guardian behind him. Let's see him in action here. Go ahead, guardian. Sending them out. And is that a dragon? We shoot out dragons, little tiny dragons. So what does the right click do? Stardust constellation. Hold up, I think we need to bring in a boss for this. King slime, right click. Legit is just a constellation that enemies can run into and do damage. Pretty cool. Covers a lot of area. A big boss like King Slime, well, he's not that big, but he's gonna run into it a lot. He's kind of big. I would definitely put the King Slime on the thick side, but there's definitely some bigger bosses in this. We got the Chalice of the Empress, so we get the Empress of Light to help us out. The attacks aren't as, you know, crazy as the Empress of Light's attacks are, but let's see her in action here. She does great damage against the King Slime. Let's bring in the Queen Bee, and let's see her right click. Spectrum Supreme? That sounds amazing. And as you can see, looks amazing, does good damage. It's a pretty hard mode enemy. Of course, it's going to do good damage. On to the last one here. True Guide Voodoo Doll. We got a little guide, as you can see. Wait, hold on. Let me zoom in for this. We got a little guide, as you can see. Let's bring in some enemies here. Some more wraiths. And as you can see, once the wraith or once the guide is dead, he turns into the wall of flesh. This is a cool idea for a little squire. I like this one. And what is the right click? Brutal dash. Dashes across the whole screen horizontally, hitting everything in its path. Let's see it in action. I gotta see it in action. This thing does so much damage. Okay, hold up. Bring in the swamp things. Right click. That's pretty good. He kind of hit that like Mario type of movement where he went outside the other side of the screen and came back on the other one. All right, we're on to all the regular summons here. This is gonna be a long video. So let's go ahead, let's blaze through these. This is what I'm gonna do, okay? I'm gonna bring in multiple minions at a time, just so we can quickly breeze through them here. We got the acorn. Boom. We got the slime cart. Boom. We got the shepherd's staff, which brings in a little sheep. Let's see all of them in action here. Bring in some zombies for them to fight, and we get to see all their different, you know, fighting styles. We got one that shoots projectiles, the other two kind of just like dash and tumble around. Cool. Another cool thing about this mod is how you get a little damage buff for having minion variety. Very cool. So, you know, mixing it up instead of just all spamming the same minion, mixing it up actually benefits you. Yeah, on to the next. We got a fishbowl staff, most effective against flying enemies. Cool. We got a rat staff. Each rat deals 1/3 of base damage, so we get a horde of rats. So we get 3 at once, and then we get what, 3 more every time. And then we got this prickly pear staff, aka shaman or shaman from Pokemon, whatever the hell it's called. Let's see them in action here. Go ahead and jump them. We got the rats doing their damage. Somebody's doing poison. Is it the hedgehog or is it the rats? I don't know. Either or. Let's bring in some demon eyes so the fishbowl can shine. Go ahead, fishbowl. Do what you were made to do. Look at them jumping out of the fishbowl. Cool as hell. All right, on to our next set of minions here. This is going by pretty quick. We got this boy right here, the paper surfers. I remember the original video I did about this mod a long time ago. This is like the Yu-Gi-Oh card with the surfers on them. Cool. And then we got the mystic palette here. Summons in a spooky paintbrush. We got an unstable detonator. Summons a bomb buddy, so pretty much a bomb from Mario. And then we got this meteor fist. Summons a meteor fist. Look at that. Wait, hold on. I need one more slot. One more slot because our paper surfer disappeared. All right, boys, go to work. Jump them. So we got explosions from the bombs. We got the fist dude throwing punches. The paper surfer attacking from afar. The paintbrush is swinging. Hold up. It gets a little hard to see like each and every one's special attack. Once we get to the later ones, you know, I'll summon them in one by one. But the paper surfers, as you see, they kind of like just dive in on their planes. I love these ones a lot. These ones are so cool. All right, we're going to finish off these pre-hard mode ones, and then we're going to go one by one through the hard mode ones. Well, if they're cool enough to go one by one. Starting with this one, Star Sky Slasher. Just summons in a little sword. And then we got Corruption Cell Staff. And then we got Crimson Cell Staff. I kind of wish mods in the future, because like it kind of pet peeve that I'm starting to see that like they gotta put a little bit more effort in the Crimson and Corruption variant. I know they are very similar in the regular Terraria. One is purple, one is red, but like I don't know, I feel like you could do a lot more because, you know, one is nasty, one is gory. Like you could work with those themes to make something cool instead of just having like duplicates, just different colors. You guys get what I'm saying though. Next up, we got the Staff of Darts here, which brings in a little balloons, tower defense, monkey. And then let's just see these 4 in action. Let's bring in some Goblin Warriors. Go ahead, boys. Do work. This is a slower damaging crowd, as we can see. Hold up, were these 2 even doing anything? Oh, okay, so they shoot projectiles. I was about to say, like, I wasn't seeing much movement. All right, next up here. This one is an equipable. So this goes in our pet slot, and we get a little queen bee here, and she fights for us. So she's a part of another little subclass, I would say, where you could summon in straight up pets and they do damage. And you get these little like pet emblems that buff them. It's pretty cool of an idea. Gives you even more summons to work with, because as a summoner class, that's the whole point, is you summoning things to do the work for you. But let's see her in action here. So she drops a little bucket and little honey slimes come out of it, so she's a summoner too. I'm a summoner summoning a summon that's summoning in summons. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get rid of her though, and let's see our last 2. We got the sorbet staff here, little balloon animal that's kind of like the Stardust dragon. As you can see, the more I summon, the more length it gets. And then we got the skeletal keychain. We bring in a little biker gang of skeleton boys. All right, go ahead, gang. Take them out. Just run them over. Yeah, that was all the pre-hard mode ones. It's time to get to the hard mode ones. All right, I'm re-recording this part because some way, somehow, I muted my mic while doing the hard mode weapons. Really is sad. Like, I haven't touched that part of my keyboard the whole time, so I have no idea how I muted my mic. Let's get to it. I had them in an order. This time I don't have them in order. Look at this. Diglett. Cool. Doug Trio. Mega Doug Trio. Let's see him in action. Wraith. Kill the Wraith. There you go. Cool. On to the next cloud and a boulder. Look, they're clouds, and then guess what they turn into after? Boulders. Straight up Kirby type of attack. Next up, we got the Eclipse Herald. Every time I summon in more minions for him, the Eclipse gets bigger behind him. Let's bring in the King Slime. Toss an Eclipse at him. I do think in a whole entire Eclipse being thrown at you would hurt, but I'm built different, so I think I could probably take a couple hits. Same thing with the Zenith. I think I could take a hit or 2 from it. Next up, we got the Spirit Revolver, aka JoJo reference. Let's bring it in here. Now this one doesn't have the greatest accuracy, so I'm gonna bring in the King Slime because the King Slime is very big and is bound to get hit eventually, right? So you can see it kind of just shoots in like a diagonal, or not diagonal, but it shoots all around and occasionally it gets hit. Now you may be like, gamers, click on something so they're targeting. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's just not the greatest summon. All right, next up, Necro Doll, a summon that summons in summons. The more I summon in stuff, the more weapons he gets to have. And as you can see, they're kind of just like suicidal, exploding skeletons. Very cool. After that, we got the Shadow Flame Probe Controller, aka a stronger version of that earlier Goblin summon. But instead of like a little Gatling gun, he gets a bunch of probes that shoot bullets. Not lasers, bullets. Well, maybe lasers, I don't know. Sound like bullets though. After that, we got this guy, the little charred spinal core. Every time I summon in more summons, he gets more heads. Go ahead, let's see him in action here. Why not? I guess we're fighting the King Slime today. After that, we got Clarent. Pretty much Aegislash from Pokemon. Go get him, boys. All right, next up here, we got the Bone Serpent Staff. This one's fairly simple. It's pretty much just another Stardust type of weapon, as you can see. Again, there's a lot of the Stardust type of weapons in here, but they're still not terrible. I kind of wish they get a little bit more creative, but you know, it's still cool seeing some of them. We got this Void Dagger Null Hatchet, fairly simple. I believe this has like Blade Staff type of AI, if not something you would expect the Blade Staff to do. After that, Slime Pyre Staff. You think they lifesteal for you? No, they instead ignore 10 enemy defense. Cough cough. Blade Staff. After that, we got the Star Surfer. My boys done upgraded. We went from paper planes to stars. Next up is the moon they're gonna be riding on. Shout out to them, you know, they made it big. Wish nothing but the best for my star surfers. After that, copter staff. Look at this. It looks a lot better than it did before in terms of the sprite, but it's another Stardust Dragon type of summon. Still looks cool. I just like the idea of these, but like I said, could be more creative. We got Crystal Fist staff, and as you can see, every time I summon more minions, that boy gets more hands. This dude literally throws hands. I would not want to get in a fight with him. After that, we got our two big boys here. Starting with this one. Bam. Staff of the Sacred Sapling. Reminds me of the Yurimir Summoner playthrough. How he had that like one tree that looked like this in the thumbnail. As you see, we summon in more minions. He gets more trees to toss at enemies. Let's bring in a little boss here. Let's bring in Queen Bee. Go ahead and start tossing all your trees at him. After that, we got this one, Staff of the Celestial Slime Train. We're finna run a train on some slimes, yes sir. Now you may be like, hold up, this looks like another Stardust summon. It isn't, believe me, it isn't. Watch this. It looks like it, but look at the attack. Instead of running into the enemy, it summons in a bunch of little minecart tracks where just like tons and tons of slime just dash into it, which is very cool of an idea. I like that a lot. Subverted our expectations. All right, I know it's a little messy here. Let's go through the armor. I already did this, but you know, I got to do it again because I muted the mic. This releases fungi while attacking. Cool. This right here makes us do something. Become immune after striking enemy. Cool. This right here, including this set right here, because this is the Crimson Corruption variant. This gives us max minions and we get Wisp. This right here is a Squire armor set, which gives us a little extra Squire to help out, and this right here is also another Squire armor set, which gives us a Tumbler to help our Squires out. But yeah, cool that they add in more armor sets. Something I always love with mods that expand classes, because sometimes, you know, armor sets can be so few and far between. Like certain classes will have an armor set every stage of the way, and then other classes will have them really spread out. All right, there's also helmets for more armor sets here. But yeah, accessories, I'm just gonna go ahead and run through them real quick. This is something I'm always gonna do for accessories in the future, unless like the accessories are so cool that I just need to see them. I just need to get my hands on them. Like this one. This one adds in a little ant. That boy, he helps us attack things. Look at him. Go ahead, get him. Yeah, get him, little ant. Yeah, it's time to get to the little extra bonus stuff here. Starting with this, we get these little rods here. Click to place a minion guidance waypoint. Minions will automatically navigate to the waypoint. Attacking with non-summon weapon dispels the waypoint. Minions deal less damage while attacking a faraway waypoint. So pretty much it's an RTS game. Pikmin. We get minions out. We summon a waypoint, they go over there. Pretty cool idea, pretty cool concept. You could definitely do some unique things with it. After that, we got the little pet emblems here. As long as this item's in your inventory, your combat pet will deal additional damage and receive a bonus to move speed and attack range. So this mod pretty much converts a bunch of pets, or you can convert pets into pets that actually do damage, like a minion, which is a very, very cool concept. But yeah, we got the little eyeball here. If I bring in an enemy, he should attack it. I believe there's a bunch of variations of AI that they all have. Some of them might have like some generic AI, and then like other ones might actually have really cool AI. Obviously there's a lot of pets in the game, so I'm not gonna go over all of them. I will grab like one or two here. Deerclops, Ogre. Let's see these boys in action. Go ahead, Ogre, show me something. So he kind of just runs into enemies. The Deerclops does actually do something pretty cool. As in, it does the Deerclops attack, which is very unique. But yeah, a very cool idea. Adds more summons for you to play with, which, like I said, the whole point of the summoner is to summon things to do damage. So having even more things to summon is cool. You get accessories like this, allow you to have more combat pets and stuff. And last but not least, you get little bows here that also give you combat pets. And there's like bows here that they ask you questions. You answer the questions and you get a little summon. And then you get a little extra pet summon. After looting a chest, do you take the chest with you? Of course. You see an innocent bunny chased by a group of goblin scouts. Do you intervene? I chase the bunny too. Everybody's gotta die. You just start a new world. How do you build a house for the guide? Come on. Come on. How well organized are your chests? This one's hard because either I do organize them or I don't organize them. So I'll put a little bit. Do you prefer building or adventuring? Come on now. Do you replant trees after chopping them down? Sometimes. Thank you for answering those questions. Based on your answers, you appear to be the hardy type. A hardy person like yourself would be great friends with the truffle turtle. Yes, sir. We get the little truffle turtle with us. And depending on how you answer those questions, you get a different summon. Cool little like concept. Reminds me of like Pokemon or something. But yeah, just a little extra content. Like I said, that makes the game a lot more fun in terms of summoner stuff. But yeah, there you go. There is the Amulet of Many Minions 1.4 version. Shout out to everyone who worked on the mod. Till this day, probably my favorite summoner mod, and I really do want to do a playthrough with this. I originally wasn't gonna do a playthrough when 1.4.4 came out, or whatever the hell the current version is anymore. I don't even know. But you know, it was news to me that Team Mod Loader was gonna take more than just like a month or two. It's not gonna update until like next year, just to go from like 1.4.3 to 1.4.4, which was really surprising to me, because like I understood 1.3 to 1.4 was gonna take, you know, a while, but like a point version to another point version, I did not expect that to take that long. So that's why I just can't do a playthrough unless I want to do it in the older version. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I'll see y'all next time.